All right. Well, welcome back in. Better than last week. We've got the microphone turned on today, so we're good. We're going to start out on the right foot here today. I want to welcome everybody in. Chatterbox Clicker here is our review show today, talking about the Houston Texans game. Obviously, a rough ending for the Bengals. It's one of those games that I think C.J. Stroud played out of his mind. I think the Houston defense was aggressive enough to where it just caused enough issues to where it was getting a little bit into Burrow's head. But, you know, again, there's a lot of things going into what's going on with why the Bengals can't consistently keep that offense flowing during the entire game. One of the things I look at is the Bengals rank right now after this last game. They rank dead last in two categories. Number one is rushing yards, 673 after 9 games. But the biggest, probably the more alarming one is the rushing attempts right now are dead last at 186 per game, on the season after 9 games. So you're talking about 186 attempts in 9 games. To put that in perspective, the team that they're playing on Thursday night, the Ravens, are number 1 in the amount of attempts, 324. So put that in there. The Ravens have 324 attempts. Bengals have 186. The Ravens have 1,500 a team for a while. C.J. Stroud played out of his mind, 356, a touchdown. He did have a weird interception there. That interception towards the end of the game, I still don't understand why he threw that ball, and I'll get into that. But good for the Bengals that he did. Took a sack and had a lost fumble, which I'm going to show you on that lost fumble. It's a good thing he lost that snap because it was probably going to be a touchdown. Devin Singletary, this is the most concerning part of the entire day for the Bengals. Devin Singletary on a team that was ranked 28th in rushing, which was averaging like 87 yards a game. Devin Singletary goes 30 rushes for 150 yards, a 5.0 average, a touchdown, had a long of 22. The Bengals gave up 188 yards rushing to a team that, again, was ranked like 28th in rushing, and now they got to go on a short week on the road and face a team that's number 1 in rushing. So, again, I saw this stat. I don't know what the year was, but it was like the first team in some odd years that's given up a 350-yard passer, a 150-yard rusher, and a 170-yard receiver. I don't know who comes up with that. I don't know who keeps that. I don't know who's bored in their basement to be keeping those kind of stats, but that was a stat I heard. And if it's true, I don't know. But it wasn't a very good day overall, just stat-wise. But again, the Bengals should have won this game. They had it in hand at the end. And, let it slip away. Let's start with the defense today. There's some things with the defense that I think we're all going to kind of watch and go, man, wish we would have had that one back or whatever the case is. But I'm going to start with the very first turnover. So obviously the Texans marched all the way down. And then this is 4th down, okay? So this is 4th and 1. Ball's on the 9. You're thinking, okay, they're going to do a quarterback sneak here or whatever the case is. But I want you to watch. This is called a roll pass. So the back's actually going to run to the flat over here. I don't know exactly how they did it, but somebody's going to have a corner, and they're trying to basically pick for the back. But everybody's going to go this way. So it's like a naked. So he's going to kind of like open up like he's coming here, and he's going to try to roll out this way. And if you watch the back here now, again, they could have seen the fumble snap, but if you watch this right here, they're all coming down. I don't see any eyes on number 26. If he gets this and he rolls out over here, 26 is running right to the flat, and that's a touchdown. And again, I believe that's what they're doing, because if you look right here, he's running a corner, he's running over, he's running a flat. I mean, you couldn't be more fortunate that was a fumbled snap right there. He looked like Stroud was a little antsy getting out of there. But again, they got to be able to get this fixed, because that's a open guy. That's an open guy. There's 3 open guys on this. If he gets this and is able to turn the corner right here, it is what it is. And I get it. It didn't happen. Good for the Bengals. They kind of got lucky on that one, but that was going to be a touchdown if they get that snap. This is the naked at the end of the game. This is the interception. So these are the turnovers we're talking about here. Again, it's one of those things where I'm not sure as an offensive coach why when you turn and you've been stopped right here. There's too much traffic right here, and this is one of those things where at this point in the game, you ought to just try to just get back to where you're at. Now I think he's just trying to make a play, and he throws this ball, and great play by Cam Taylor. Great play by him. Honestly, like the way he's covering it, he's undercutting it right there, and it's a really, really good play by him. Again, if you look at it from an offensive perspective of you just got pulled up on this guy. The Bengals had a good call on this, and again, this was let me see, this was 3rd and 3. So, the Texans they got 3:41. Bengals have 2 timeouts. If they get a first down here, obviously they can do some damage to it. But if you look at this from the end zone, he's chasing him man to man, and when he pulls up to throw, I just don't see why he would throw that. But again, good for the Bengals. Now, here's the thing. Like, I know he's doing everything he can, man, but I'll tell you what, that's how close a game is to being won and lost right there. Because if he scores right here, I'm pretty sure the Bengals probably win this game. But again, that's how close right there these games can be. And again, great play by Juice, I believe is what everybody calls him. Heard he had a really, really nice fundraiser last night, a bowling fundraiser. Great for him, man. I love seeing people doing things in the community, especially there in Cincinnati. We try to do some things with the Caskey Family Foundation and with Marvin Lewis's community fund back when I was there. Man, it's great to see these players doing some things. So if you guys can get involved with that, I would say as much as y'all can go get involved with these players' charities, please do, because I think they're doing some really good things out there. This is the one sack right here that the Bengals had. This was a really good pick play by, and I'll show it to you from the end zone because really it's a good look from the end zone. Is what they're doing is you got him. He's going to come here. He's going to pick here, and he's going to try to come around here. But here's the thing: like sometimes the picker guy, see, he's kind of trying to pick right here for him to come around, but sometimes the pick guy is the one that comes free. And it happens more often than you think. You're thinking right here, okay, Logan Wilson, man, I got to go pick Tunsil right here and come around here and then get Hendrickson free on the running back. Well, the running back does a pretty damn good job right here of actually picking up Hendrickson, but it's the pick right there that comes in and they don't pass it off. And great job by Logan Wilson. They called this a fumble, so it's a sack fumble. Great play by those guys, man. I mean that's aggressive. That's aggressive play and knowing, hey, I did my job. Now go hit him right here. And then the fact of these guys are getting so good at trying to hit the ball and trying to really get a hold of guys when they're in the pocket instead of just sacking them. Go ahead and get the ball. Maxwell, I'm sorry I didn't. The start time, yeah, we changed it up. I've got a little bit different schedule going now, so we thought we'd go a little earlier. Maxwell, you asking, can you break down why we haven't seen an impact from the depth of our D-line? The depth part of it, you're about to see on Thursday night. So you're about to see an impact on it on Thursday night. I would say they're probably just trying to play their best guys. And right now their best guys are Hubbard and Hendrickson. And it's one of those things where I think the pass rush, Osai and Sample, I've seen them in there. And, you'll see Osai here in a minute. On a run game issue, but again, I think you're going to see the depth of it have to come to the top this week because I think with Hendrickson and Hubbard possibly out for this game on Thursday night, you're going to see it. So tackling issues. Now this is something. This stuff gets seen at every level, and I do a show on Monday nights for Caskey's Clicker that does LSU. And LSU's defense is having some tackling issues, and it's crazy how it shows up, man. I mean, it's at the highest levels of every level. But this right here, this is kind of the Super Bowl play where they're trying to bring a guy in motion here and run him back out and thinking it's man coverage. Well, here's the thing: it's not man coverage, and if it is man coverage, they're passing it off really well. So, point being is this: if once he comes in and he goes back out, he should catch this right here. You should have a guy outside, you should have a guy inside, and you should have a guy filling in the middle right here. And they work this all the time. I know they do. So right here, you get a guy outside, good. Force him back in. That guy should be sitting right there, and you should have another guy sitting right there. And you should, if everything was set up right there, stop that play right there. Now, again, this is a first down play, I believe. So it's one of those things where, yeah, they'd have another shot, but it's not a touchdown. So again, that's something right there. They should have stopped this before it got in. So again, you got a guy forcing him back in. You should have him sitting right here. You should have somebody else sitting right here, and that play should be stopped. And again, you can blame that on. I see people are blaming it on Nick Scott. I would say I would put it more on. Is that Hilton right there? I'd put it more on him right there, just of being overrunning it a little bit. He should be more in this area, but. Again, those are things I know they'll get fixed. Those are easy. All right, now this is a duo run, and this is one of those things where Cam Taylor-Britt and Nick Scott both missed tackles here, and you can see this from the end zone. So right here, you've got he's got the outside gap, he's got this gap, he's got this gap, he's got this gap. Technically, he's got this gap, he's got this gap. Well, who fits that big old gap right there? It's one of these two guys, and I would assume that right now the way it's set, and Cam Taylor-Britt's going to sit in here, and then he's over the top. Well, right here, okay, he's in that gap. Great. Force it inside to your safety. Okay, you missed the tackle. Force it inside. Now he's got to make the tackle, and that's where the next thing you know, your free safety who's not being blocked. Because right now, if you're in all reality, if you look at this, he's not blocked, he's not blocked, he's not blocked. You got 3 unblocked defenders that 26 makes miss right here in all reality. And again, that's just something they gotta get that fixed. I mean, there can't be that many missed tackles. And now this is the last play of last offensive play of the game. Okay, and I'm going to go into something here right after this. Reed, I know you're listening here. Reed and Casey, man, they're awesome in the background, by the way. If y'all don't know, Reed and Casey produce this show, and today Reed's on it, and they do a great job. I appreciate everything they're doing. This is the last offensive play. So there's Nick Scott and there's Jermaine Pratt. And right now you're just throwing kind of a late little – it's kind of like it's like a choice slant, but it's, they're trying to run him by, and they're just all they're trying to do right here is get the first down. That's really all they're trying to do. They're just trying to keep this drive alive. And right here, you got 2 guys here, and I want you to see that. You got 2 guys that are tackling him. Now, again, if they tackle him right here, if they tackle him right there, let's see, usually about 8 yards roughly. So you're talking about putting the ball at a 53-yard field goal. If you're kicking a 53-yard field goal, if that's where the kicker's kicking it from, as opposed to about a 38-yard field goal. And if you remember, the kicker for Amendola for Houston had only been with the team this week. You remember Dario Ogunbowale, who, by the way, I know how to pronounce his name because I coached him in Jacksonville. That's the only reason I know Dario Ogunbowale. He actually has a sister that plays in the WNBA too. So they're a pretty good pretty athletic family for him to be kicking field goals as a backup running back. But anyway, they had Dari kicking field goals the week before. So this guy came in and he almost missed it wide right up here, almost pushed it wide right on the field goal. So point being is when you've got 2 dudes right there, that tackle has got to be made. That tackle has got to be made. If he's going for the strip, I see that, Thom. If he's going for the strip, hey, great. I would tell you this right now. There's too many players at all levels going for the strip instead of securing the tackle first. Secure the tackle first and then let the next guy strip it. Or once you have the tackle secured, especially in this situation, because you just never know. I mean, what happens if I don't know, somebody falls down back here and he ends up running in for a touchdown. So But I think he might have been going for the strip right there. But now I do want to go into this. So if you look at Hendrickson right here, when he starts to get up, you can't see it right here. So I'm going to kick off for a second. I want to show this. I do want to show this play here. And this was I was asked about this online today, about, was this a dirty thing when Hendrickson got hurt? There's the receiver that just caught the ball right there. And I mean, you can't, I'm sorry if you think that's dirty. I just think my man's tripping, and that's not dirty. And yeah, he ends up running into the back. I don't think this guy had any malicious intent. I don't think he has any clue where he's at right there. And people, Bengals fans, I know you're going to go, oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. I can't believe he would do that. Why would that kid? What does he have to? Come on now. I mean, have some common sense. That's not dirty. That is just a guy. That's a kid falling backwards. He fell back, and he just happened to fall into the wrong person's leg. I mean, that's something right there, man. I mean, I'm not saying that happens a lot, but I mean, he's trying to get up out of that thing, and you got to think they're trying to get the ball spotted here too. If you remember, they're trying to get the ball spotted. So homeboy's trying to get up out of there, and they're grabbing him. And these guys right here are trying to hold him down. I don't know if you realize that. They're trying to hold him down because they're trying to run the clock out. So anyway, I just want to make a point of that. I was asked about that earlier about, was that a dirty play? I personally, I don't think so. And I mean, y'all can disagree all you want. That's fine. That's what we're here for. It's healthy discussion. See, that's what the world doesn't have these days. Everybody has an opinion. All of a sudden, people get mad. I can't stand you. Let's have a healthy discussion here. It's all good. All right. So those were the tackling issues. Now, run game issues. Now, the 2nd and 3. This is the second play of the game. Okay, the second play of the game. So they must have had something that they saw, because they're going to pinch the end in here and they're going to scrape the linebacker over. So there must have been something in this formation. Maybe it's because they think they're running duo or whatever the case is, but they end up running an outside zone right at this. Well, he pinches inside, and he's going to scrape over the top. Well, the problem is, if you're going to scrape over the top, guess what you have now? You have outside contain. You now have to contain this and turn it back into all of your buddies over here. Well, the problem is right there, they 77 falls down, so you got a free runner right here at him. And for some reason, Pratt just kind of stops. He should keep going on that angle right there, force that thing back inside, and that's a dead play right there. But instead, second play of the game, you end up gaining a pretty good amount of yardage right there. And again, I mean, for them, you can see. I mean, they knew something was up, because watch, you see that right there. You see that tap? That's because he's saying, I'm going inside. That he's telling them that they know that. So. There you go. Yeah, Maxwell, I see you. I saw you got in the, yeah. Listen, man, I had some guy on Twitter try to tell me that I said, take the kid's scholarship. I wasn't, in all reality, I wasn't saying take the kid's scholarship from Washington that dropped the ball on the 3-yard line. But it's like, at some point, these kids have got to understand too, there's something bigger than themselves. It's not their Instagram story. It's not all these things. It's the bigger picture of life of, just do your job. If you just do your job, you'll get more fame and fortune and love and whatever else if you just do your job and score that touchdown, score that pick 6. And the crazy thing was, when that kid from Washington dropped the football, there was like 2 of his teammates went running by the football and didn't realize he had dropped the football on the 3-yard line. So it wasn't just him. There was like 2 other dudes. Anyway, done with that. So getting back to the Bengals and Texans. All right, so now we keep talking about Scott. So now what there's the play duo. When I say a duo run means you're blocking, it's man blocking. Okay, so they're all doubling here to him here. Now in duo blocking, you saw a little while ago when the Texans ran that one play and you had those 2 DBs that were unblocked. Well, they're bringing a receiver over. Well, why do they put the receiver right here? Well, they put the receiver right here because he's going to go block him, and they're saying, okay, you got the corner over here. Screw him. He's a corner. He's paid to, that guy's paid to cover, not to make tackles. But, Scott, he's a safety. We're going to block him. Here's the issue. So he's got that gap right there. This guy's got that gap right there. This guy's got that gap right there. He's got that gap. He's got that gap. He's got that gap. Now, when this guy comes over here, guess what he does? He creates 2 new gaps. Well, if you know as a safety that you've got your corner sitting out here, you better fit on the inside of this new gap and let him fit on the outside of this new gap. And then you've got all the gaps covered. Well, right here, if you watch this, he takes him on. And I know on offense, we always tell these receivers, listen, just take him on how you find him and let the back make a move. But right here, when you got 2 guys in that same gap right there, and you got no guys in that gap right there, that's not gap sound football. And that's how that play ended up breaking up. So, it's little things. It's little discipline things of knowing your run fits. Now, what did the Texans do to make this hard on these guys? And you got to give credit where credit's due. Motion them over. These guys have all got to start talking about, okay, I got to move over here, I got to move over here, I got to move in here. There's a lot of adjustments. What's easy about this on offense? All we had to do was tell him insert, which means insert. But to the defense, it was a whole lot of adjustment. They had to change their coverage scheme. They had to change where they are. Now all of a sudden there's new run fits. And again, it's easy as can be. Did they hold Pratt? Maybe. I will say this. That right there happens on every single play. I know y'all hate to hear it. That happens on every single play. The Bengals do it. I could probably, when we get to the run game here in a little while, I'll show you that they probably did it too. But again, there's some things right there. Now, this is an inside zone, and it's run directly into this again is Scott. He's going to run directly into a safety blitz right here. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. If it looks to me like if he would have stayed over, if this guy would have stayed over here, I think he was going to come off the edge over here as a linebacker. But when he motioned over, they exchanged it right here, and I'm assuming that's what happened right here. But when you blitz off the edge, you better blitz to keep contained because, again, what are you now? You're the edge guy. You're the contain guy. So blitz to the upfield shoulder of these guys right here. And, again, right there, it's just, I'll show you this again in a preview show that I've got for the Ravens coming up where, the Ravens running backs are really good at this right here. All right. They're really good at making like an unblocked blitzer miss. And you know who else is really good at this? There's a number 28 for the Bengals right there that plays this position that I'll actually show you makes a guy miss later on too that does the exact same thing. But again, they got to make those plays. Now, this is a pin and pull, and I know the Bengals fans are starting to hate all these toss plays and stuff, but Miles Murphy right here, and again, you're talking about a first-round draft pick, and there's a receiver right here, and everybody's like, man, he got beat by a receiver. Here's the thing. Yeah, he's got to be able to throw that dude right there. But on the other hand, too, you've got guys here. They're actually doing their job. Look at this. That's perfect. What are they doing? They just set the edge, like I just said. So they just set the edge to turn him back up in here. The people that should be making this play, what's going on right here? Why? I get it. You have fly motion going over here, but why are his eyes when he's this linebacker on this side? You got 1, 2, you got other guys over there to handle that. He should see all of this action and be flying over the top of this right now and making this play. Why is Logan Wilson so concerned about everything going on over here? What did they see right there? Logan Wilson should be over here somewhere fighting over the top of number 63 making this play. Everybody's going to give Miles Murphy a hard time, but these two guys did their job. Actually, believe it or not, that's not bad by him. I mean, yeah, he should throw him and go make the play. I get it, but there's a lot of things wrong with that fit right there. Now, this was a jet sweep reverse, which I think is pretty damn cool. So they're going to hand the jet sweep off and then reverse it around and come around here. As a high school athlete, you're told one thing as a backside end. I remember I was always told this, and I don't know if it still holds true in the NFL level or not. If you're the backside contain, you contain to the depth of the deepest person left in the formation. So right now, he's the deepest guy, so you should be containing at the depth of the deepest guy. and he's chasing straight down the line here, and there goes Osai right there, and here comes the reverse coming around. And again, you want to call holding, all right? I don't know if that's holding or not, but all I'm saying is the yellow flag didn't come out, and there's a lot of plays like that. But I think the biggest part of this right now, again, is that whole, you got your backside contain guy has got to hold that down. So that was a jet sweep reverse, which I honestly like. I think that's a pretty damn cool play. And I know it went against the Bengals, but it shouldn't have. It should not have. I'm not sure exactly why he's, that's just a lack of eye discipline right there of knowing where he's got to be. And again, I don't know if they teach it that way with the Bengals. I just know that was a way it was taught back in the day about, if something's going that way, you stay as deep as the deepest guy, and you're kind of out of it. But you're containing the naked, you're containing the reverse, the arounds, you're containing all those things. Now, Houston play action. Now, this was a killer right here for the Bengals during this game right here. So these little half rolls, all right. This little half roll right here. So when I say half roll, he's going to come here and he's actually going to stop here. So it's not like a true naked. And true naked, he would keep running. But like a keeper or a half roll, some people call them keepers. But you can see right here, you see how this tight end's coming in motion. He's actually blocking that guy because he knows the quarterback's setting up right here. So he's going to set up right there to hold off the quarterback. Now, what happens here is you'll see this guy, he'll come up and he'll come across the field. Well, okay, so they got like a man. It looks like some sort of maybe cover 3 carry, which turns into man. But again, when he's running deep, so he's thinking this guy's going here. When this guy decides to go here, this safety has got to take him over one way or another. This safety has got to come back here and take him over. And if you go back and watch the Baltimore game from the past Bengals game, they had the same issue where they had that the corner didn't get back on the same kind of thing. So all this pass, so he should be right now be on top of that guy, and that's Dax Hill. And I think Dax Hill is going to be a great player for the Bengals. But again, right there, I think, Cam Taylor, you can see him talking right here, like, take him. It's yours, you, or whatever they're saying. And it's a good pass off. They get it done. They just physically don't get it done. And this little half roll throwback thing, because right here, here's the thing. Here's what he's looking at. He's gonna look here first. It's a top down read. So he looks here. He's gonna look here. Then he's gonna look here. So let's just say he decided not to throw this guy. That guy's still there, so he could probably still throw it to him. So, it's a good play action protection type of thing. Get the question here from Thom. Was Hill too deep? I don't think so. I just think it was more of the right now. It was the right now of not getting redirected. You see how when he redirected this way. If he would have redirected more that way, I think he would have been right on him. I'm not sure he would have broken it up, but it would have been closer. So, but it's a good, it's a good play action thing. And again, why do they want to play action him? I think what happens is here, teams with a young quarterback, and, I've dealt with it. I was an OC at a high school level. Sometimes when you move people, when you get everybody moving this way, get them all moving that way, it kind of gives your quarterback a second to get the throw, a deeper throw. But I want you to watch Stroud throw this though. And I know a lot of people on the feed here are Ohio State fans, and y'all, it hurts you that Stroud, beat the Bengals. But again, this kid right here is, look, he steps into his throw and bam. It's on a line. There's no float to it. It's not going too high. It is what it is. So, LSU. Why are you laughing at LOL and LSU right now? I said OSU. Did I say LSU? I didn't say LSU. I said OSU. Sorry, Yash. I like you, Yash, bro. I'm glad you're back in the chat tonight, man. I'm not an OSU fan either, Yash, and I'm very indifferent. Honestly, I'm indifferent. I really like the Bengals, man. I love the city of Cincinnati, and I want to I want everybody to be successful out of Cincinnati. Now here's the next one they run. Now this is true man. This is 100% true man. And you'll see here they'll come here and they'll come back around. It's the same play going the opposite way. And here comes your guy from over here. It's the same play. I think it's the exact same play call. Here he comes. Here comes this guy across over here. Here he comes on his deep cross. And it's just somehow or another he got lost right here. And, came open in big play. Again, it's the same. Like I said, I think it's the exact same play. I think it's the same exact play call going the opposite direction. And, C.J. Stroud's got a turn, boom, throw across his body, and a little bit of a float, but, it's a big play. And, again, it's now this right here, the Bengals did a good job on this one, okay? This is very well covered. Now, I want you to watch what's going to happen here. This guy right here, this little tight end, he's kind of a turd, okay? I'm just going to tell you why he's a turd, because he's going to try to look like he's blocking, and he's going to try to run this little, hide route is what some people would call it, a little hide route. He comes, they got it covered. Because if you watch right here, C.J. Stroud actually comes out of this thing, sets up where he's setting up. There's your tight end blocking again. Same protection. He's looking to throw this guy. Well, it's covered, and he's like, oh, crap. Now, here's the issue. Watch this guy back here. He keeps playing, and he comes back to the ball. And when he comes back to the ball, C.J. Stroud finds him. And you can see right there, it's the same protection, same exact look you're getting. Now, on the last play, remember, this guy went across. He went like across the field over here. And now this time he's going to go here. He's coming here, and they're trying to send 81 over into that area right over there where they were throwing to 85 earlier, but they had it covered. Now it's a scramble drill, and he comes open right there. So again, young receivers, if you're watching this, young receivers, if you're the deep guy, you can do one or two things. If you got him beat deep, keep going deep. But if you're that deep right there and he's running past you, just fall back into this little area right here. And exactly what he did. It's a good scramble drill by the Texans. Again, I'm just speaking football here. Now, if you look at this here, now this is another half roll, and he scrambles. So it's, again, when I say half roll, he's coming here. He's really going to set up over here. Now, the problem is, that, earlier they were having this guy kind of motion in and block him. Well, now they're blocking Hendrickson from here, and they don't get it done. Well, it forces him, oh, shit, I got to go back in, and he does this, and he starts scrambling around. Now, here's the issue. There's your route right there. Okay, so what happens now? Well, I'm over here. Where should I go? There's a guy behind me. There's a guy over here. I should probably find a spot in here. Okay, well, if I'm going to find a spot in here, I should find a spot in here. And that's kind of what they're doing here. And he ends up, sorry, that one cut off there. You'll see it from here. He ends up throwing it to that guy who's just kind of hanging out in this area right over here. And it's again, the defense it's hard on a defense when you have a scrambling quarterback who can throw. Because right here, normally a scrambling quarterback who's got that many guys free running at him is going to probably just try to throw this ball away. But C.J. Stroud, apparently, I didn't realize his arm was this good, but and apparently the S2 test means absolutely nothing, by the way. Because they kept saying this kid wasn't up to par mentally or whatever. I thought he looked pretty up to par. And then that's not just this game. I think that's a lot of the games they played. Now, their drop back game. This is a 7-step drop back, and it's what I call a lockdown. So if you watch both of these guys are going to run up here and they're going to lock down. They're going to run up here and lock down. It's kind of like a deep curl. It's like a deep curl. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you watch how deep this guy runs, so he runs this right at 18. And these are usually 18-yard passes. I'm not sure if he's supposed to run that deep. Maybe he is. I don't know. But you can see right here, they're worried about the deep pass right here. So they're playing deep. And here he goes. He steps up and puts it right on him. And again, that's just, but why did, again, what causes this? What causes him to go so deep? Watch him sell the vertical and then stick it. When he sells the vertical, I'm selling, like right now, I'm running vertical. Everything tells me I'm running vertical. That's why he has his hips turned, and he stops and he's got to come back. So again, good job by the Texans right now. Talk about pass rush. You want to talk about the guys that weren't in or whatever the case is. Now, they're trying everything they can right here. They got a blitz coming. You got these guys coming right here. And again, right here, Ben Riley, how can we be creative offensively? Other teams literally burn through the playbook to win. I've yet to see that for us. Before, I wouldn't worry because we at least get in the field range. Now we don't. Now, Ben, let me come back to you, please. I'm not going to put you to this. I'm not putting you to the side, but I am putting you to the side till I get to the offense, because I do have an answer for that offensively when we start talking about the Bengals offense, because I think there is something to that, what you're saying. The creativity I think does help. And again, if you watch some of these teams that they're doing, they're trying to be creative. They're trying to do things that are a little bit out of the norm to get the Bengals defense out of whack. And again, I'll say this about the Bengals defense. Lou Anarumo does a great job with his defense. I think this defense has been spectacular for the most part throughout the season, and sometimes you just have a bad game and things happen. But so I appreciate you, Ben, brother. I appreciate. Thank you so much, though. I really do appreciate the super chat, and that's awesome. I appreciate you guys being a part of it. Now we're talking about this other drop back here. Now this motion, when he motions, when this receiver right here, I believe, motions out of the backfield and nobody moves. What does that say? That says some form of zone coverage. And you can even see here, Dax Hill kind of gives it away. This is not man coverage. This is zone. So with that being said, you can see right here, you can see from the end zone. Watch Stroud right here. Watch Stroud from the end zone. He knows right now. He motioned him out. He knows right now, I got zone. He's yelling right here. And watch, he even makes a hand signal of something. He's talking to these two guys. And he's saying something to him. But if you watch, this is a zone beating route. All this is a seam route and a little under. The under holds this guy, and the seam comes behind this guy right here. You see that? The under holds that guy, and the seam is right there. So anytime you have a one high, and when I say one high, you got one deep safety, your openings are right down the inside edge of the numbers. That's where there's a void right there. So anytime you hear a seam route versus cover 3 with one high, right there, that's why he's staying right up the numbers. You see that? And then he throws the ball and throws him right into that area. But yeah. But again, that's what happened right there. When they motioned that guy out, he said, I see 3. I'm going to call the whatever combination that was. And again, that's you talk about your S2 tests and things at the combine. They may be good for something, but that's pretty smart by that quarterback right there to see that. And you can see right here, how open he is right here. There's a big opening right there. And again, that's probably not what they had called. That's not what they had called. Now here's a few coverage issues. So when you're playing a cover 3 or any kind of, man coverage, but if you've got right here and you've got all these guys underneath, they've consumed right here. Look at these 3 guys. They've consumed those 4 guys. It opens up this area of the field if they're in one high. And if this receiver can just beat that DB inside right there, he beats him inside, and that's how he gets that catch right there. Why is this area so open? Well, they took 3 of their receivers and consumed the underneath coverage. There's ways to manipulate coverages. So that was a look right there. Now this is one hole, and when I say one hole, you're going to have 4 rushers. All right. You're going to have man here. You're going to have man. You got a free safety. And this guy right here, Logan Wilson, he's got like this area, but he's also kind of like, there's a reason he's turning and looking this way. Most of the time when you have a free linebacker like this, he's going to turn to the passing strength, which is the 3 receiver side. Now, here's what I would tell you. If you look at the little choice route they ran that I showed already, where they ran this guy ran a go, and this guy kind of came inside right here. And on the last play of the game when I showed you with the tackling issue and the Hendrickson thing, I think what they saw is when you have a stack receiver, they're going to say, you know what, we're going to err on the side of our hole player going over here and taking away the inside cut right here. I think that's what they're saying right there with that. So when he does this and he turns here, because I know there was a few guys on Twitter saying, man, why is he turning right here? Because look, he's throwing the ball right behind him. But again, this is like we've in other lives have called this dusty double under, and then you got a post or a poco. And poco means post or corner, and it looks like they may have a poco called here. So he could run up here, and if this guy were to play inside, he could take the corner. If he plays outside like he is, he takes the post. But, I mean, the fact that Logan Wilson's got his – now, this puts Logan Wilson in a bad spot too, and the reason I'm saying that is what if he did turn and look this way and he decided to break it in right here? Because right here, in all reality, he could throw it to 85 right here and probably have a first down. But that's the reason I think that they're doing that. There's a game plan reason. They knew right now that is a choice route formation, and they're going to say, you know what, we're going to put 3 over 2, 3 over there 2 right there, and beat that. So Maxwell's asking how much of the blame for the explosive plays on the secondary versus pass rush to cut off. I think it's a mix of both, and I'll say that, and I'm not trying to come off with the easy answer. I think right now the pass rush isn't getting home as quickly as it has been, so there is a little bit more time. Because if you watch like right here, there's still a 4-man rush, and it's an exchange blitz. I call this an exchange blitz because here comes, I believe that's Dax Hill, and that's a safety blitzing, and somebody else has dropped into coverage, but you still have 4 guys. You still have 4 guys rushing, so you have a normal 7-man coverage. But right here, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on with anybody right here. I mean, you're not getting any rush here. You're not getting any pushback. There's the pocket's not collapsing, and that's hard on hard on coverage now. And if the coverage isn't holding up at the time, it's a pretty little athletic move by number 2 right there. Y'all go try that in your backyard. I swear, I promise y'all couldn't do it. I got a question here from Yash. Is the middle distance ball over the linebackers genuinely has been concerned? A missed tackle is a huge game. Yeah, but I'm telling you right now. So I'm going to tell you when you go watch, especially the Ravens defense coming up this next week, there's a lot of intermediate routes you can hit right over the top of I'm talking about for the Bengals offense that they can take advantage of. Now, again, people are taking advantage on the Bengals right now. Coverage issues. Again, this is a pivot and go. And when I say pivot and go, so this is quarters coverage right here. So you got a quarter safety. So when this post route kind of comes right in here, it's going to consume both of these guys. So both of these guys are going to run with that guy and make sure he doesn't score. Well, you basically are man coverage right here now on this guy. And you can see right here, 8 does this little whirly bird pivot and go. So a pivot would be like a 6-yard stop, like come up here, 6-yard stop. This is like a 6-yard pivot, little whirly bird. And heck of a throw by Stroud, and again, this is stuff you see from Burrow all the time, these little back shoulder throws. I don't know if he meant to throw it there. To answer your question, Maxwell, I see, is it a technique on the rush? I don't know if it's a technique. It's more of just it's who's doing it. Again, Myles Murphy's – guys, y'all got to remember, Myles Murphy's 9 games into an NFL career. I'm not trying to give him an excuse at all, but I've coached it. I coached in the league for 12 years, and it took a lot of really, really good players a long time to get used to playing in the NFL. So I'm not saying give him a break, but I'm saying give him a break. He will be just fine. Kid's gonna be just fine. He's gonna be a good player. Now, this is the last coverage issue I got. When you motion a running back out of the backfield, when you motion this guy out, and you see a safety leave and pass up the corner, it's not that a safety left and walked out. It's that he actually ran past the cornerback. That means right now you've got man coverage, because a safety covering a back, that's man coverage. That means your corner staying on your receiver. These guys have got a man over here. He's got him man, and probably playing. There's that whole coverage, and he's going to play the middle here. And what Stroud saw right here was, okay, cool. Y'all want to play man? Y'all play man and void this whole middle. It's the same stuff that we keep saying to Burrow. Why Burrow, man? You got to run. That's all he did. Because watch this. Watch the running back run in, and watch my man Nick Scott go in here. And he's covering his guy. In all reality, he's got to keep covering this guy, because he's still a runner till about where he's at right there. And you can see that's about where he stops. So you got to be careful with that. And again, the man coverage down there, if you got a running quarterback, you got to be careful. And that's what he saw right there. And he said, you know what? I see a big hole. And you can see right here, even these two are, trying to pass this guy off. And there's a point where it's like, well, crap, Now, I want to end the defense with some good stuff. This is good coverage, okay? So this is cover 0. So when I say cover 0, these three are covering these three, all right? And they're basically somebody's going to eat him up on the way through. And that's where we're going with that. So, but here's what happens. I want you to watch the way these guys turn, okay? And I'll show you too from the end zone. And why did Logan Wilson drop? Why did Logan Wilson show he's blitzing and then drop out? He's the reason this play gets broken up. If you see right there, this is actually a good job of coverage, because why? Look, you see Nick Scott back here. Why is he so deep when he's covering one of these guys? He's covering the inside of this guy, so he knows he's got him. He also knows he's going to have somebody dropping right there. That's why he's doing that. Excuse me. But if you look at this from the end zone, you've got these two guys right here. Now, why did he drop? Why is my thing not working here? Why did he drop and not him? Because when the guard sets to him, he can go now. He can drop. He's like, I'm blocked. Because if he drops, who's 71 not blocking? 71 is not blocking my man right here. Well, who's blocking him? The running back's blocking him. Well, who's blocking this dude? Nobody. That's the game you're playing. That's the game you're playing. And right now, when he drops out, he's reading the eyes of Stroud. That's where he's reading. You see that? When he decides to drop, he looks and sees his eyes are looking over here. That's why he looks over here. That's a hell of a play by Logan Wilson. In all great play by Logan Wilson. So, yeah, that play does remind the first Chiefs. You talking about last year when he got that interception, Yash. I'm assuming that's how you say your name, Yash. You're in England somewhere, so maybe Yash or something. I don't know. Yep. Okay. Good. So I said it right. Look, I'm moving in the right direction, guys. At least my microphone's on tonight. So tight red zone. Now this is the one where the receiver ran out of bounds, and I just want to make a point of this. So we used to teach the receiver. So right about there is where he ran out of bounds. So right now you can see my man right here throws his hat down. You see how he throws his hat down right there? His hat's laying on the ground right there. And when you throw a hat down, that means, he's out of bounds. He's dead at this point in all reality. He can't touch the ball first. So he's got to have somebody tip the ball to him to get to it. Now, why would you want him to keep running? I thought this was a good job because we used to teach the same thing. Because here's the thing. They don't know that he's stepped out of bounds necessarily. And they're still having to go cover him. well, if he just says, screw it, I stepped out of bounds, I'm just going to stop right here, they can go over here and start triple covering people. And that's where, things happen right there. But again, yeah, this was a penalty for it. But, here's the thing. Does Stroud know that he ran out of bounds? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He doesn't know. All he sees is his receiver running the back line right here. He thinks he's got a touchdown. Whoever this dude is over here, y'all need to revoke the sideline passes for whoever this guy is. Come on now. Come on, Bengals. Y'all are better than that. Emily Parker, I'm calling you out right here. I don't know who this guy is right here, but you need to go. You need to go have a talk with who you're giving sideline passes to. Emily Parker does a great job with the Bengals PR, by the way. But anyway, I thought that was a good job in coverage. All right, now this is man coverage right here, and this is what I call a jersey route, and it's kind of a bench route, But if you look right here, if you watch this outside receiver right here, he's going to look like he's running this way. He's selling everything he can to go that way, and then he turns and he runs out here. This is a great job right here by Awuzie of turning. I mean, look at this. I mean, he's got him blanketed, and he didn't get. Earlier we talked about, when they had that cross earlier, and he got kind of turned and then tried to. But look at the getting turned right here, and that's a heck of a job of getting that covered. So there's some good things happening, and this was a big time play by DJ Turner. I mean, you talk about rookies that are going to be good in this league. I want you to watch this. So it's like a stutter go. Now watch. How many times have they getting beat on stutter goes? It's been a few times. Watch him reaccelerate, get his head around. The biggest thing is he got his head around right here. What you can't see, it's kind of hard to see. I think that's the ball right there. You see that's the ball right there. He gets his head around and then flips his hips around, knocks this ball down, almost catches this thing. Watch this. He almost catches. I mean, I've seen people make that catch before. I know that's an OBJ type of thing, but like when you get to a point where you can make that type of play as a rookie, good for you. I think they got a good kid in this one, man. I think that's going to be a big time player for the Bengals for years to come. So defensively, again, yeah, it's not the greatest of outings. I think here's the thing. I don't know Lou Anarumo personally. I didn't work with him. I worked with Zimmer and Gunther and Terrell Austin and obviously Marvin. And, I think there's some things that they're doing right now, man, that is as good as we've seen the Bengals do. And it's just every once in a while, bro. I mean, it's just, it happens. It's a bad, it's just every once in a while you have a bad night. Can we anticipate that Maxwell? Can we anticipate the same amount of explosive plays versus the Ravens? I wouldn't expect it. I would say this. You got to remember they're playing on a short week. The Ravens are playing on a short week too, and the Ravens just got beat at the last minute too. So there's a lot of things that they're having to correct on their end as well. So I would say, we'll see. I don't know, but I've got a pretty good preview show coming up. It'll be posted tomorrow afternoon. Would love to see you guys take a look at that. Now, when we look at the offense, and the offense did some good things. Now, again, one of the things that the offense is doing that's impressive is the opening script. The opening script has been like as good as I've ever seen an opening script. What happens is I think the defense is going to the sideline after the Bengals drive down and just dominate them. They come out and say, okay, we need to do something different. And the Bengals have a minute to adjust to it, and it's fine. Now, I think there's just some plays that are not being made, okay? Now, this first one, you can see on the bottom, it says intentional grounding. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I am. All right. When you have a choice route where he can run and stop or he can run and go, well, at this point right here, he's thinking, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong side here, but he can run and go. So he's thinking right now, he's going to go. So he's going to throw the ball over the top. Well, for some odd reason, he decides to stop. And, I believe that's Yoshevus. Did I say that right? Yoshevus. But right here, again, and it's funny because somebody threw one in the Monday night game last night against Buffalo. And I'm like, Troy Aikman or somebody said, well, isn't that intentional grounding? But that's the same exact thing that Josh Allen got called for intentional. And this has nothing to do with the Bengals, has nothing to do with the Bills, has nothing to do with the Texans. Get the call right, man. I mean, because here's the thing. It's going to get crazy if it keeps going that way. Molly, I love to see you in the chat, and thank you. I grew this myself on my hair. Molly says, Coach, your haircut still is good. I appreciate you. Listen, please keep telling me that because it makes me feel good. But it also, what you don't know, my stylist that does my hair is actually my wife, Kayla. We go out in the backyard and she cuts this up and she styles it up. So I'm telling you right now, it's good to hear Kayla get some love here in the chat because of her hair cutting abilities. And she's not even a hairstylist. She's an occupational therapist. So you know what? We can all do multiple things in life. But glad to see you. Glad to see you in the chat. I heard you say you're unavailable because somebody said we should go on a date. I'm unavailable too, Molly. I'm unavailable too. But that's good for my part. I outkicked my coverage big time. One day, if y'all don't know my wife, I outkicked my coverage. And yes, I'm sucking up to her right now. All right, move on from that one. All right, Joe Mixon. Again, I mentioned this earlier, and I'm going to say it again. The Bengals are dead last in rushing yards. They're dead last in attempts of rushing. I don't know why, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, I'm going to show you a few things. So this is what I call a kick play. Okay, it's a one-back power. So like if I said power, he's pulling around for the mic, and when I say kick, he's going through the mic, and he's going to come over here and kick this guy out. Him and these two guys are exchanging responsibilities. And I mean, I'm sorry, but that's an NFL size hole that why are you not giving it more chances? Now, I'm a little shocked Joe got tripped up by this, but it looks like Trenton Irwin kind of gets pushed back just a little bit and Joe catches the back of his leg. Hey, Ben, listen, the run game. The run game's not bad. I'm trying to tell you all this. Nobody will listen to me. Run game is not bad by the Bengals. I think the Bengals offensive line tight ends are doing a heck of a job, man. I think Joe Mixon's running his ass off. Just got to give him a chance. So right here, see, he kind of gets pushed back, and I think Joe trips over him. But again, look at the hole they're creating, man. I mean, that's that right there. That right there. You in NFL terms, that's driving a truck through you can drive your truck through that. So some guy, I don't know who some guy is, but man, I appreciate you listening. I wish some guys would listen to me outside of here. It's it's one of those things, man. The real world gets a little different on us. Now again, same play. So I think the tight end's trying to push through here, but the end pinches down. See how they pinch these two guys? So when that happens, tight end takes him, and the guard's going to pull around, and he'll end up taking that guy. Now, same play. This is the same play in all reality, same play. But I want you to watch what happens here. And this is why I say give this guy a chance. Give my man 28 a chance. Yes, I'm biased, and I'll admit I'm biased, and that's okay. But right here, they don't actually get to number 6. Okay, cool. There's your hole. 6 is right here. Now, if I would have been showing this on the defense for the Bengals, and y'all would have been like, man, Jermaine Pratt didn't make that play, what do you think the Texans are thinking right there? What do you think the Texans are thinking when this safety from way back here comes flying in here? Oh, nope. Is he going to make that tackle? Nope. Oh, is he going to make that tackle? Nope. Oh, hold on, one more. Is he going to make that tackle? Nope. 4 missed tackles. 4 missed tackles. And all I'm trying to tell you right now is if they give the kid a chance and give that offensive line a chance to make those plays, man, they're there. They're there. This is a tight end wham. Okay, so I actually this is one of my favorite plays. So they're going to influence here. They're going to influence here. They're going to bring him to here. Bring him to here. Wham here. Wham here. And they're going to try to get him. So you got like, if you notice, there's a lot of lines on there. And he's going to try to hit it like up through here. So when it's all said and done, you got a guy on him, got a guy on him. One of these two should be up there, and there's a humongous hole right there. Look at the hole that they created. Now, here's my unbiasedness right here. I do think that right here he missed, like he should just take that thing vertically. And if I was still coaching him, I would tell him right now, listen, hey, I get it, but hey, man, go that way. And I think he knows that, and I promise you he knows that after watching this film. But I think he did miss that cut. Now, this is duo, and we were talking a minute ago about you remember they brought the receiver down in to block the safety? Well, how about the fact that the Bengals didn't bring anybody down to block the safety? Okay, well, let's hand it to Joe Mixon right here. Look, free runner. Is he done? Hell no, he's not done, man. It's Joe Mixon, bro. Come on. There we go. Boom. Make a miss. Look at that. Make a miss. That's what Joe Mixon can do. And again, I don't know if they had it built in to go do that, but they should have. That's tough right there. But again, that's a big time play. This play, in all reality, if you looked at the one from Nick Scott on the other, against when we were looking at the defense, I mean, he should make that play right there. I mean, honestly, that guy, an NFL player, should make that play. So anybody that wants to, hate on Joe Mixon and say he's lost his step, the kid ain't lost his step. Chris Zito, I should coach the Bengals. I coached for him for 9 years. I was the assistant line coach for 4, and I was a running back coach for 5. And this young man right there, I was a running back coach when we drafted him. And I'd go to battle for that kid right there. I think he's that type of kid. But yeah, I would love to coach for the Bengals. I'd love to coach the Bengals. I'd love to whatever. I'd love to be a part of it. I think it's fun. But again, I'm not. But I'm going to try to do my best to explain to you guys why they can still win the Super Bowl right now, man. I want you to watch this. This is kind of funny. Watch Chase down here. Hey, I mean, watch up here. Oh, you can't see it. You can't see it. It's off the screen, but his hands were up here. Now, watch the one thing you need to watch is my man Houday up here. Doesn't get enough love. Hey, he threw his hands up too. See? Hey. I guess it freaked me out one day. The Houday mascot costume one day was kind of over in the it was just down on the first level one day. I don't know if whoever the mascot is, was somewhere else and left it there, and but they had it propped up like it was sitting in the corner. It kind of scared me because it was like 10 o'clock at night, and there's the Houday mascot sitting in the corner one day, and I was leaving to go to my car. But anyway, this is a touchdown, inside zone, simple stuff. They're double teaming here, they're double teaming to here, cut off here by Irv Smith, and again, it's just simple stuff, man. I mean, give the kid the ball, let him go. All right, now we're gonna move on to the tight end play here. And again, I don't know if y'all remember if y'all watched it from if you were at the game or if you watched it on TV, but when Burrow throws his hands up on his eyes, he yelled "Viper, Viper." So Viper apparently was a check. So this was not a huddle call. This was right here. He saw something right here and said, "You know what? I'm gonna make a play. I'm gonna call Viper." Well, it looks to me like Viper is like a little seam here, a hitch seam, but it's now a choice route underneath. But it's a choice route by Hudson here. I want you to watch Hudson run this choice route. Broke it on the linebacker. I mean, again, he called this play. You don't call a choice route by your tight end unless you trust him to run the choice route by the tight end. I mean, I love how he makes the Viper call. Watch the communication right here. Viper. Now they're going to have to change the signal here because I put it out there on the internet. Sorry, Dan Pitcher. I love you, man. Messing up your calls here. All right, now going on to the next tight end. Now this is a can play too. So this was a huddle call. Now you can see here this is not a can right there. That's telling you guys up in the stands, hey, listen, shut up, people. I'm trying to work here. I mean, Burrows, look, he came to work today. He put his hard hat on literally, but they're going to motion him in. Now, when they motion him in, what they're going to see here is it shows zone. Why does this show zone? Because you see how everybody kind of like bailed out. It like kind of, yeah, this guy moved in. I get it. It could be man, but it could say two man. But then it's the way everybody else kind of got deep. And you knew right there, man, I got zone. Look, I'm going to throw this little bubble route here and let my tight end go run. Molly, maybe you're too loud. I mean, I know Bengals captain is not in the chat tonight. I haven't seen him. But I know he gets loud too. Houday Baby. If y'all haven't met Houday Baby, by the way, he's the guy that wears the big styrofoam Bengals cowboy hat. Go up to him and just give him some love. Houday Baby is the dude. So, but if you can see here again, getting back to football, you can see here they brought Travion Williams down in here, and he said, you know what, I see something over here, so I'm going to throw it over here. And again, it gets their tight ends involved. They weren't as involved this past game as they were before, but again, that's a 4th and 3 play. That's 4th and 3. All right. And again, is 4th and 3 a pivotal moment in the game? It's 4th and 3. First drive of the game. Yes, they scored on this drive. You know what I'm saying? So yes, making those kind of plays is a big deal. Now, this is the first play of the game. All right. And I know this stuff's kind of out of order, but I'm trying to group them together. But I want to show you the aggression of these guys. I think they had a plan coming into this game saying, you know what, we're going to get in ahead of these dudes and we're going to get in ahead of them early. And yeah, this is just a simple, naked play here. And Burrow throws the ball, cool, but watch how this guy, yes, this might be dirty. I mean, that might be dirty. Y'all want to talk about dirty? Yes, that might be dirty. But again, first play of the game. That right there said, listen, Burrow, we're coming after you. And yes, that got called. It got called. And here's the thing. I think this guy actually, is that what you said? Somebody got smashed in the head again? I don't know if you're talking about the ref, but watch this flag. I think the flag that my man throws over here actually hits him in the head. I think my man hit him in the head with the flag. Not only did he get hit by the Texans dude, he hit him in the head with the flag. Come on, man. Y'all are better than that. All right, now sacks. I did a preview show last week, and I'm excited to start doing. I'm gonna start doing those for the rest of the season. Here is a preview show that'll drop. With this being a Thursday game, we'll drop it tomorrow on Wednesday. Most of them will probably be dropped on Friday going forward. But if you look right here, Orlando Brown just kind of gets pushed back. Okay, so they're pushing the pocket back, and you can see this from the back end, pushing the pocket back, and they're getting the pocket pushed back. And it just caused a situation here. Now, this is where people think this was dirty. Okay, so Burrow's doing all this stuff right here. Do y'all remember the San Francisco game? I guarantee you that guy remembers the San Francisco game when they watched it on film where he danced out and made a play. Well, that's why 41's right here. It looked worse on television. But I'm telling you, that's why if you want to, they're like, man, 40, yeah, they're blowing the whistle right there. But I'm telling you, like, that's the reason – 41 was like, hey, listen, man, and here's the good thing. Look at your guys fighting for your guy. Yeah. Do you want another penalty? No. Fight for your guy if you're no lineman. Now, we talked about number 52, Jonathan Greenard. Now, I wasn't really aware of this guy. I'd heard his name. I knew he's out of Florida, but this guy's a really good player. He's an up and under Orlando Brown. And again, you're looking at trying to look at the pass route. If I know he's kind of looking over here at Chase, but if he can get his eyes around over here, watch this right here. It's wide open. I mean, it's there. Ben Riley. I will say I love Joe Burrow's cadence. Can. 180 said hut. Now, can. Why is it called can? So Ben, I'll give you your money's worth here. Why is it called can? Anybody in the chat? I'm going to keep talking about this play, but anybody in the chat, come back. Why is it called can? You would know if you watched my show. Now, so we're talking about right here. We're talking about Greenard right here. He's going to up and under right here. This kid right here. I don't know where this guy's come from, where this energy has come from, but this guy's making a name for himself. And some guy says check out like the Dutch. Molly, no idea. But right here, I mean, again, good job by 52 making a play. All right, now the Bengals are using yes, some guy. It doesn't mean check out the play. You are 100% correct, but why do they call it can? Cancel because it can work? No, because you're canning it to the next one because it can't work. Come on now, y'all aren't thinking. What do you do with something that's no good? Think about that. What do you do with something that you don't want in your house? You have something in your house and you don't want. What do you do with it? Now, looking at this, so they're going to move up and you get rid of it, but where do you put it? So they're going to come up here and they're going to give chips on the edge. Trash it. You're close. Throw it away. Where do you throw it? Trash can. GC3, you got it. Trash can. You threw it in the trash can. That's where can came from. Can. Put it in the can. So that's where it came from. There we go. Now we're rolling. I like the interaction tonight, guys. Please keep it up. I love this. This is good. This is good stuff. All right, but if you look right here, I want you to watch. I do love what they're doing on the outsides here because I think you need to do that. But you also got to be able to take care of yourself. Now, Sheldon Rankins had a stick up his butt the other day, and I mentioned this in the preview show the other day. Was like they're going to find the guards and they're going to try to push them aside like this, and I mean that's just overpowering. Now I want you to watch this. He misses the sack right here. This is the type of effort right now that if every team would watch this play, and I'm not just trying to say this because I don't even know this guy. But watch this play. He beats the guard, he misses the sack. Most guys kind of at this point feel bad for themselves. Watch him get back up, and he actually comes and gets the sack. So anyway, I know that doesn't help the Bengals out any. So now I do want to make a point on this one. This is the last sack I'm going to show. All right. Again, it's going to be Rankins on Kappa, and he's going to run straight through him and sack Burrow. But I want to make a point of this play here is go to the scoreboard. Look, this was right after the long pass to Tyler Boyd. Everybody's going to beat up on Tyler Boyd for dropping that pass. But this was right after the long pass to Tyler Boyd. It's 1st and goal, 1st and 7. You got 1:53. You have no timeouts, which is good. That's fine. They have 3. Okay? So if they have 3 timeouts and you've got it 1st and goal, you want to run the clock. Now, do you want to go score? Sure, you want to go score. What have these dudes been doing the entire game? Driving the ball right down the field and scoring. So why not take that right there and try to run it down and get rid of those things right there? Get rid of those little dots. But instead, on 1st and 7, you decide to throw it. And again, there's not a whole lot open right here. You might have to end up throwing it to Joe Mixon. But watch this right here. Sheldon Rankins right here. Kappa. Boom. Now, again, this gets scary right here. You see that head hit the ground right there? I mean, it happens and all that, but that could have been a lot worse than you wanted it to be right there. So anyway, point being is that, again, you got a guy getting just manhandled, thrown down, and then you get your quarterback just, and again, this is not roughing the passer by him by any means. He's carrying him down. He doesn't have his weight over him. That's just an unbelievable play by a 3 technique or a 4-eye, whatever you want to call him, thing 4. But again, man, Chris Zito, I'm hearing you, and run the ball, man. I mean, look at the box you got. Look, there's not a defensive lineman in here. Block here, block these two up to here. Read him and let him run the ball right there. Let him go block right there. I just blocked up a heck of a play. So, again, not real sure what was going on there. Again, I'm not part of the coaching staff there. They may have had something that they'd seen. All right, scrambles. I do want to point out some of the stuff that Burrow was doing, man. I mean, look at this right here. Now, he gets beat. Jonah Williams is beat, but bad, like bad. But he steps up, pulls out of it, and still continues to run. Now, here's what I want to point out. I want you to watch him finish this run. This shows me right now, this guy is kind of pissed off at this point, if you want to, for a lack of a better term, because look at the score. At this point in the game, scores 20-7. He's mad. Yeah, he does need to slide. I get it, Vaughn. But he does need to slide. But he's mad right now. He's like, no, I'm running. I'm trying to pull a Jaden Daniels right here. If y'all haven't watched that LSU quarterback, by the way, that's the Heisman winner. Whether he gets it or not, that gets the best player. And I'm not an LSU guy by any means. Ben, man, I'd be so predictable as a coach. If we were in the red zone, expect to see a lot of runs. Also, running takes pressure off Joe B to carry the team like Atlas carries the sky. Ben, it's not that you're predictable. It might be that you're got a little common sense. I don't know. Y'all agree with that in chat? Would y'all have run the play in the red zone? I want to see other people in there. I want to see if anybody would have run that ball in there. Now, looking at another scramble, again, Jonah Williams right here is beaten again right here, but he's beaten inside right here. And it forces Burrow out of the pocket right here. But I want you to keep your eye on what he does here. And this is pretty cool here. This is the backside receiver. Remember last week, I don't know if y'all watched the show from last week, but T. Higgins ran, it was down here on this end of the field, and T. Higgins ran all the way across and got knocked out like the 2-yard line. But right here, if you watch Trenton Irwin's like the last man on the backside of this thing. Looking right here at the chat real quick. 100% would run, yes. JD5 to the Jets would be scary. JD5 to most places would be scary. I got common sense. Hey, I don't know Ben's fiance. I don't know you. I don't know your name. But he's got some common sense. So you should be happy about that. So looking at this from the end zone, let's get back to some football here. So I'm glad we're having a little bit of a levity here tonight because it's, I know some of you guys are not feeling the love this week, but we're going to feel the love. But again, we talk about the pick games when people are running picks, and here's another pick, and it's the picker coming free. Again, Sheldon Rankins. My man's playing some ball now. But here's the thing. Watch this. It looks like C.J. Stroud from earlier in the game. But see, he looks over here. Look when he throws this. Look when Burrow throws this ball. He throws this ball he's got a guy sitting here and a guy sitting here. He throws this ball with some anticipation into this hole. Bam. I mean, that's elite. You can say right there, oh, that was a dangerous throw. I don't think that's a dangerous throw. You know what I think that is? Sorry. I think that is an elite quarterback knowing right there what he can do and where his guy's going to be. I think that's what that is. Yash, you're getting like weird. Don't worry about the semantics. Fiance. It means the person you're going to marry, whether you're male or female. But there are, we'll leave it at there because I don't want to get in trouble from other people. Last scramble. This is a touchdown to Chase. Chase is actually running a shallow cross. If anybody knows what a shallow cross is, shallow cross here. Chase scores his touchdown way down there somewhere, like on this side of the field. But he's trying to run over here. How does he get there? Well, he decides to, when the second that Burrow comes out here, he turns here and runs like a wheel route and runs it straight back there. It's a pretty amazing what these guys have. And because if you see him right here, he's kind of running it and he sees Burrow's going to do this. So he turns and wheels back around here. This is not a design play, guys. People are like, man, those are some great designs. That's not a design play, guys. This is a drive route. Drive route, basic, follow. That's a drive route. That's what that is, with a bench route over here. So why is this called a bench route when he runs out like that? It's because there's a bench over here somewhere. He's running to the bench. So you gotta that. That's all this play is. And this play turns into that, and that. I mean, that's a pretty impressive. I mean, and the fact that he threw that thing like he did, I want you to watch him throw this ball. This is pretty impressive across his body here. Like he doesn't even step into that. Look, he threw that body. Y'all go out in the backyard. I know y'all were going to go out in the backyard and try something else earlier. Y'all need to go in the backyard and try to throw a ball like that. So that's, I think that's something that, it's that pretty impressive. I don't know what else to say about that. Pretty impressive. I think the Bengals have a good quarterback. All right, pass game stuff. This is just some random pass game stuff I just want to show you here. So there's two linebackers inside the A-gaps right here, okay? So right now, if the back stays in the backfield, this could easily be man coverage, and these 6 guys would eat up the back. And when I say eat up the back, if he left this way, he'd peel. If he left this way, he'd peel. If he went through the middle, they would take him, and he would be free. But right now, so the back runs out, nobody moves. Zone coverage. So you know what Burrow says? Well, nobody moved. So either they're blitzing and they're going to zone, then we don't have enough blockers, or they're going to all bail out. But he's not going to take the chance. So he brought his running back in and went protection. And look at this. They went Abby call. When Abby left, puts him out here, puts him out here, puts him out here, puts him on the next guy here and here. And it's a perfect pickup, and bam. I mean, that's as good of a an audible after he motioned the guy out, because right here he's got the widest, he's got the second widest, he's got the third widest, but then he's got him, and if this guy drops, he joins the slide and picks him up. And this is a great job. Even Travion Williams, great job. And then right now you've got your backside guard coming back to help. I mean, this is really, really good. I could go on an hours on protection stuff. That was my thing with all the teams I've been with. Actually, I've been the protection guy. Ben says, was Joe checking to see who the corner was going to follow on that bench route? Possibly, yeah. For me to say yes, I'd be lying to you, but a lot of these motions and things like this, they're trying to figure out. Now, what's the difference between look at this motion? Watch Travion Williams. This is the play we just watched. He motions out, nobody runs with him. Now we go to the next play. He motions out, or Joe motions out. Guy runs with him. That's a linebacker. Man coverage. Now you know it's man coverage. Okay? So I want you to watch this so they're going to can this play. All right? And he's going to bump up. He's going to bump back. Pretty cool little shift. And this is what I call this bulldozer. They're doing here, and they're going to throw a little pass to him, and he's going to go right here, because this is 3rd and 1. So this is 3rd and 1 right here. And all they're going to do is just go, boom, catch it here. We're going to go run little pick routes right there and block and get the first down. But that's why they did that, because they knew it was man right there, and they knew they could get away with it. So pretty cool check right there. All right, again, running back motion. Can't really see it right here. He motioned out. The running back motioned out here, and here comes this number 6 to come out and cover him. So it showed man. Okay, so now they've got what I call a tight end, a man beater. Probably not the nicest term, but so they're going to try to run these two guys kind of through these guys and have him step up and then run around. The guy that makes a play is, watch this guy. The guy that's covering the tight end. He actually runs right between them and covers the tight end. It's a heck of a play by that kid. But again, they can't block him right there. They can run into him, but they can't block him. But they run into him, they got to keep running the route. I think it's a really good play call because if you look in all reality, that's 4 guys that guy had to run through to get to that. And, I thought it's a good play design. It really is a good play design. Now again, this was, what was the 3rd and 2? So this is 3rd and 2. Now again, you could probably look out here and say, well, you've got your guy 6 yards off and he's running a little under route right here. And all you got to do is get to the 35. So there you go. Alpha, hey coach, I'm watching as you said I should do. Do I get bonus points? I don't even know who Alpha is. Alpha, put your real name in there because I don't know who you are. And if you're somebody I know and you're one of the players and you want some bonus points or you're in my class, I'm assuming Alpha Wolf is probably some kid that's in my 8th hour and he's just a turd. He's a straight turd. But again, I thought that was a good play call right there. Now, lost my spot thinking about Alpha Wolf right there. All right, now this is the explosive play to Tyler Boyd. So this is just an inside glance, okay? So like you can call it a lookie, and it's really not a lookie. A lookie is more like here, but this is more like an inside. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to cross your face right here because you can see they're trying to set him down here and they're setting him down here. It's like a sticks route. It's almost like they're running, because they're getting the sticks are right there because this was see what the situation was. So 2nd and 10. So, they're really pushing to the sticks right here. Alpha Wolf, appreciate you being here, man. I'll give you 5 extra points tomorrow. But you can see right here, Tyler Boyd beats this guy. But I want you to keep this in mind. This might show up here in just a minute on this pass route. But he catches this ball right here. Now, here's the issue. That guy all day should make the play. So we keep talking about the Bengals having issues. I think this is an epidemic going around the league. It's bad angles. That's a horrible angle right there. Now, I'm shocked right here. I was actually kind of shocked that Tyler Boyd got caught, but this guy actually took a good angle to go knock him out right here. But this play, when this happened, I ain't going to lie, I thought the game was over. I thought it was over. I was done. I thought it was done. But again, Tyler Boyd is still a good receiver. I know guys are beating on him, man. Tyler Boyd's y'all forget. Yeah, he dropped that pass in the end zone. He also did this to get down there. All right. So just, chill out on some of the things that are being said out there. Now this is a touchdown right here to Trenton Irwin. Okay, this ends up being like a cover 2 look. Now this is Stingley right here. So this is one of Burrow's former teammates at LSU. So it's like it's a cover 2. You can call this kind of trap coverage where he's going to play back a little bit, and then if something comes underneath, he can play off on it. Well, you see Chase running up underneath. Well, here goes Irwin right here. Well, in all reality, like most quarterbacks would probably throw to this guy. But Burrow said, nope, I'm going to put that right over the top, right into this little honey hole. There's a honey hole right there. Everybody talks about the hole shot. And there you go. Heck of a throw, man. Heck of a throw. And, Yash, you saying Super Bowl, though? Is that what SB means? Are you saying Super Bowl? I would say they got as good of a chance as anybody, man. Don't count these dudes out. Every time these dudes get counted out, every time the Bengals get counted out, they pull them right back in. So now that was interceptions. Now I'm not trying to bring the last part of this down, but just showing this. Now this was just an overthrow. Okay, so remember earlier I said when you have one high safety and you got your defenders here, and you're running this seam route, you're running that go route up the inside edge of the numbers. Well, if it's one high, you keep it up there because you want to split those 2 guys. Well, when it's too high and you run this, it's called a bender, and he's going to bend it inside of those 2 guys. He's going to bend it inside this safety right over the top of these guys. That's called a bender. So you see they're both bending. And again, I think this one, if you see it from the backside, I think this was just overthrown, man. I mean, this is, Burrow doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. And maybe he thought he was going to take it higher. That's the only thing I can think of is maybe he thought he was going to take this route higher, and it just got overthrown and literally just happened to be right into the arms of the safety. And again, I don't think that was a scheme error or anything like that. I think it's one of those things where it's been just a little bit of an overthrow. Now, this one right here, I'm not 100% sure what went on this one. I'd like to so what they're doing is they're running that. Remember I told you that Dusty, that double under, and he's going to run a post right here, and it looks like to me like he's trying to see if he can get that throw right there. And again, I think it's almost the same thought process. Now they're bringing this guy in here and bringing him around. Now when he decides to scramble, I just don't think he ever saw this guy right here. Because right here, he's seeing Tyler Boyd, and he's thinking right now, I'm going to just throw it right into that area right there. I'm not sure maybe he thought he could make that throw, but I'm not 100% sure. This is not a normal Burrow scramble throw. It almost looks like he underthrew it a little bit, but I don't think he saw the guy that made the play right there. Ben Riley, I noticed that Joe will sometimes throw high when T is in the game. T does make that catch. Now, again, he was throwing that one to a tight end, and that tight end's a big body now. That tight end's a taller, big body. So, he may have been thinking that too. So there is something to that. There is something to that. Now, looking at this last play, and again, this is the play that's killing everybody right now. But this is, in all reality, if you watch the route that he's running here on this guy, it's really that same route he caught going the other way for the long pass. It's really he's running up here, and he's just beating this guy inside. It ends up being the same thought process. And right here, you're going 3/2 over here. You got 3/2 over here, and you're saying you're 1-on-1 with the tight end now, or with Boyd rather. But that's Boyd on a linebacker, and this is why you put guys where you put them. You put a tight end here, you put a running back here. So tight end, running back. So why do you want to put those two guys over there? Speed is over here. Speed is over here. So with speed being over there, you're saying, okay, y'all just waste 3 of your dudes over 2 of our guys that aren't our better receivers, and let us y'all can put 4 over 3 or whatever you want to say over here. And it kind of looks like in the version maybe it was like they're playing a box over it there. But I mean, I'm just going to tell you, Tyler Boyd makes this catch 10 out of 10 times. I know you're all going to kick my butt for saying 10 out of 10 times, but if you would have told me right now, that was to win the game, I would have put every bit of my money on him that he catches that ball. And again, was it a little high? Sure, he probably could put it right on him, but again, look what's happening right here. He's got to get that ball out right now. He knows right now, I got to get this ball out. And again, he makes that catch 10 out of 10 times, man. And again, Thom says, losses are by inches. I showed you earlier, Cam Taylor-Britt on the interception barely gets his shoe hit, and the game's over probably right there too. So, man, it's a tough loss for the Bengals. I think they're going to be okay. They got a tough road ahead now. I mean, the Bengals are they head to Baltimore in 2 days. What's tonight? Tuesday night. They had to Baltimore in 2 nights to play them on the road, and that's a tough place to play. If any of y'all have ever been to a game in Baltimore, it's a pretty cool place. Now, I'll give them, the atmosphere is pretty cool, especially when you're playing at night. We went in there at night, last game of the year, and knocked them out of the playoffs in 2017 when Tyler Boyd had the long touchdown. Oh, that Tyler Boyd, yeah, remember that guy? Had the long touchdown. Andy threw to him. We knocked him out of the playoffs, and that was a fun game. We had people. I was up in the booth for that for games for not and it was like they were up there in the booth, like the club section was right there, and they're up there just throwing things into the window and turning around. We're getting some explicit fingers thrown at us, and it was fun. And then all of a sudden we beat them, and we got to say a few things back to them. And that was actually on New Year's Eve. I was supposed to be at a wedding that day. They flexed the game, but me and David Lippincott, who used to be one of the defensive assistants, we ended up getting back, and we went to we made it to Jill and Chris's reception after midnight of 2018. It was going into 2018, so it was kind of an interesting story about that. But they got to travel to Baltimore again. They blew a big lead. Baltimore blew a big lead to the Browns. So they're dealing with some of the same stuff the Bengals are dealing with. They're not just coming off of a game where it's like we whipped their butts and we're going to go on and we're going to beat them. But again, This is a big game. It's not a must win. This is a big, big, big game, though, because here's the problem. The Bengals are 0-2 in the division right now. This would put them 0-3 if they lost it. It would also put them at 5-5 and be, I believe, 2.5 games behind the lead of the division at that point. They'd be 8-3 or something. Yeah, I guess 8-3, maybe 3 games off of it. No, that's 2.5. I'm doing my math right. But they'll be 2.5 games off the lead, and it's one of those things where it's just gotta, this will be a big win for the Bengals. Bengals win this one, man. Shoot, ain't nobody talking. Nobody's remembering this Houston game. So I do appreciate y'all all coming in. We are going to have a Baltimore Ravens preview show that's going to drop tomorrow on Chatterbox Sports YouTube. It'll be a recorded show, will not be a live show. And look forward to seeing y'all be a part of that. And then what we're going to try to do this week, so please get the word out there. We're going to try to do a show on Friday at 5:30. Since they're playing on Thursday night, I'm going to try to get the work done on Friday. Have a review show done for Friday at 5:30, and then have that be live. And I am actually traveling next week for Thanksgiving, and I do want to still have a live show. So if we can do that Friday at 5:30, that would be awesome. If we don't see you then, the replays obviously will be up. But I appreciate everybody here. Chat, y'all been great today. Please spread the word. Like, subscribe. Chatterbox Sports, C-Box Sports, they're on that. Coach Kyle Caskey. Go spread the word out there so we can get more people involved with this. I love seeing the chat, and you guys have been great. Molly, thank you for the compliment on the hair. And I'll leave it with that. So we'll see you guys hopefully on Friday at 5:30, a special edition after the Thursday game. See you then.